My email game is good, but it's not great. And over the last few weeks, I have been trying to make it my mission to make it work as well as it possibly could work for me. This channel talks about continuous improvement, and over the last few weeks I have been trying to improve my email management in such a way that it would just make a massive difference to my day-to-day workflow. My email structure and filing system has been terrible, and I'll take you through why that is, and my tagging system has been completely inconsistent, so there's been big problems to fix. In this video, I'm going to talk about what I've learned, how I have applied these learnings to my setup, and how I manage my inbox. Hi, if you're new here, I am Jill, and this channel is all about trying to do life right with more of a focus on work life. And a lot of the comments I am getting are appreciating the fact that I work in the real world with a full-time job. I'm doing this as a bit of a hobby, but the stuff that I'm talking about, the content that I'm providing you with, is relevant, hopefully, to your day-to-day. So if you like the vibes, you like the content, why not subscribe and hit that like button? Any learnings that I have applied to the management of my email and my setup have mostly come from productivity expert Cal Newport, who's the author of some of my favorite books like Deep Work and So Good They Can't Ignore You. There's a few others, but let's talk about Cal's first. If you're anything like me and you do like to read, you'll appreciate this quick word from our sponsor. I like book summaries, and I use an app called Shortform for this, and Shortform are great for book summaries. They go beyond that into the detail at a much deeper level. They give you all of the key ideas, and they go deeper still by comparing ideas with other books, whether there's conflicts or whether it further backs it up. They also have an interactive way that you can apply these learnings to your day-to-day by interactive exercises to embed these learnings into your day-to-day. I personally use Shortform as a way of personal development, self-growth, that extra tool, part of my workday, or even in the evenings whenever I'm having to do a little bit of reading before I go to sleep. And I pick certain categories, certain topics that I am interested in, like communication, management, leadership, productivity, all of the topics that you are likely interested in if you're following this channel. And if you are interested in checking out Shortform, please see this link below. You will get a 5-day free trial, and you will get a 20% discount off an annual subscription. Right, back to the video. Cal wrote a blog post called Beyond the Inbox, Rules for Reducing Email, and I'll leave a link in the description below. And he talks about an issue many of us knowledge workers face, and that is inbox capture. And this is when we are not on Teams calls, Zoom calls, doing our day-to-day. If we're not on that, we are then dedicating our time to sending and receiving email, Teams messages, or Slack messages. Cal Newport's answer is not simply to check your email less often. A lot of business operations manage their communication mostly through email, so if we did that, we would likely miss something important. But I have taken one lesson away from this blog post. This first one is to capture your emails into role-specific repositories. In Cal's world, he is a teacher, a writer, a researcher, and a director, and he moves his emails into a Trello board that are dedicated separately to each of these hats, and he can keep that hat on whenever he's in that specific world of a writer or a teacher or a researcher or a director. But at that big picture level, he still has that big picture and then can hone in on what the priorities should be. I have adopted a similar approach to this using my email and my task management system, Todoist. Very unlike Cal, I just have the one role, but I have split these in a different way. Firstly, let's talk about Outlook. Up until recently, I had a folder set up that was very cumbersome. I literally had a folder for every type of email that could possibly come into my inbox. As part of my Friday routine, I review all of the emails that have built up into my inbox during the week. I will have actioned and filed some of them already, but the majority of them sit there until Friday. I would come to the point where I file them and I try to locate the folder, and there's just way too many folders. So I eventually decided to scale this back, and I do not know why it has taken me so long to do this. The last 2 weeks have been absolutely glorious, but I have scaled this back to align with my folder system that I have set up for my digital note-taking. I have 3 simple folders within that system: business, delivery, and people. So I did the exact same thing with my email setup, business, delivery, and people. But I have 2 additional folders on top of that, so 5 in total. The 2 additional ones are simply Jill, a personal folder for all of my stuff, like expenses, performance, all that sort of thing. And another folder called Read Now. Once I got to that first Friday after I made these changes, I saved so much time. And the reason being because the management of the email and the filing has taken away the daily friction that I would have faced on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, making me leave it to the Friday so that I can do that all daily because it takes so much less time. And when I got to the Friday, most of it was done. So there really wasn't a lot of emails still built up in my inbox. And this last folder I added called Read Now is set up in such a way with rules that it captures any important emails that are flagged as important, any emails from specific individuals like my boss or anybody else from the senior leadership team go directly into that folder. The second learning is also from Cal. It's a good one, but the next one after this is my favorite, so stick around for that. And this is talking about email structure. I want to receive less emails. I want to send less emails. I want to get out of the way of email ping pong and putting burdens in other people's inboxes by removing any form of ambiguity from my emails. Over the years, I believe I have perfected this. I want one email to do it all. I do not want to send emails that's going to raise concerns or raise any questions. I want my email to clearly say what the purpose is, the why behind it, the alignment that I've reached, any due diligence that I've done, I've spoken to the right people, everybody's bought into it. I want to demonstrate ownership, clarity, you're being informed at the right time with the right information to the right stakeholders so that they have the confidence that, yeah, Jill, she's got it under control. And I think communicating in this way has been a massive contributor to keeping my emails in my inbox to an absolute minimum, to just the essential. On to the final learning from Cal. And this is a favorite of mine. I recently talked about this in a video. I can't remember which one, but I want to tell people what my email policy is so that they know how I handle my emails in and out of my inbox, around timings and all that sort of stuff. And I had talked about putting something in my email signature to describe exactly this process. And I've done that. And this is how it looks. So this is exactly how it looks. Snapshot directly from my email signature. So this, hi, I do emails like this. 1, call me if you need something now. 2, by Friday, I will either respond or plan in time to deliver on your ask. And 3, don't worry, I have a system so I do not miss anything important. This is attention grabbing, it's snappy. I'm telling people, if it's urgent, call me. Please do not let something important get lost in the noise of my email inbox. The last learning is from a book called Make Time, and it is about managing your email on a day-to-day basis. Do not live in your email inbox. I have scheduled 2 times at an absolute minimum to go in and check my inbox. 1 late morning and 1 late afternoon. And this ensures that I go into my inbox and do a quick scan for anything that's important that I need to action now, just in case anything does get lost in the noise. And like I'd mentioned before, I now have this folder called Read Now, which is specifically to manage exactly that. Do not let anything get lost in the noise. So if there's anything important, or if there's anything that's come in from a specific individual that I would consider important and needs actioned or reviewed as soon as possible, I would capture it in this folder. So during that time, later on in the morning or later on in the afternoon, the Read Now folder is the first one that I would review. As part of my Friday routine, which I mentioned earlier, I have an inbox 0 rule, which basically means if there's anything still left in there, I will review it and respond if it's a nice, quick and easy one, or I'll review it and plan in some time to do the ask if it requires a little bit more effort, and then I'll file it. there shouldn't be anything left in my inbox that has been ignored. The only emails that are left in my inbox will be tagged with a certain category. And the two categories I use are monitor, because there's potentially something I'm still waiting on somebody for, so I'll keep it in my inbox until I get that sorted. And the second is planned. And along with this tag, I will also have a tag stating the day of the week, a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. And that indicates to me that I have that email planned in for either one of those days, and it is in my task management system, Todoist. Having these tags gives me peace of mind that there's nothing in my inbox that has been ignored and that I am completely on top of it. After doing this reset, I have managed to scale back significantly in terms of how I manage my inbox with this simple setup of just having the 5 folders and applying these rules and these categories and being able to visualize my email policy and share that at the end of each email. It has made an incredible difference, not just to how I manage emails, but there have been numerous comments from people that I work with saying, Jill, oh, I really like that idea, I'm going to do the same. So I hope that you have gotten value, that you've stuck around to the end, and I would encourage you to do the same, because if you were anything like me just a few weeks ago, having a folder for everything, if you scale that back so much to the absolute bare minimum, to only the essential, you will make a huge difference and carve that time off yourself. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Here's the link to Shortform if you want to get into the book summary thing. I would definitely encourage that too, because it's such a good way to increase your breadth, your range, and get into the key details and ideas from all of these books, these non-fiction books that you're interested in. Click the link and you'll get that 5-day free trial and that 20% discount off your annual subscription. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.